because before we leave next week, I would like it, please. I know that I asked just without following up. I'd like to know that if you are a Nei Lama, just a casual helper of another person understanding Dharma, and you have a friendship with someone, I just want to know you have that for a couple of reasons. I don't want you to rely solely on one teacher alone. So I'd like to make sure that you've got cross-referencing points, one or two or three. So if you are a Nei Lama to someone else, please let me know, yes, and I have 3 students, and so on. And we're making sure that all the people that are teaching or that are Nei Lamaing or studying and have Nei Lamas, we're making sure we've got record of that at Diamond Mountain, Fort St. Michael, in California, here and all the other centers that we are. It's just another level of sophistication, just like we're pushing for homeworks and quizzes to make sure that it's not just lost, that we actually don't go off and create some silly idea about a very important topic. So if you would just to think, if I don't have craving, I don't have to go through a rebirth. If you didn't know what that meant, you could be excused for wasting your entire life in a practice and habituating your mind in a self-existent way towards something that won't really help you. So it's important to have a third, fourth opinion, find other teachers in this or out of this lineage to validate and triangulate your knowledge. Yeah. So that's why I want you teachers. I want to call you up individually and say, hey, how you doing? That's one. Yeah, how you doing?
So are you saying that you're going to be
He wants to know who your Nei Lama. Geshe Michael wants to know who our Nei Lamas
are. That people have Nei Lamas. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you want a phone number of people who are Nei Lamas?
No, just put your phone
Just
number
put your
there.
phone number, and I'm going to call
Don't-
you all
don't make it
up between the
complicated.
summer break and go, hey, how you doing? Are you practicing well? Let's have coffee. Is all the stuff I've been sharing with you, is it useful? Do you have someone else you can check it with? Because I'm not sure if I'm telling you the truth. No, like that. So this leads us to we'll review all this for the exam next week, but this leads us to, once we look at link number 7, which was feeling, which feeling produces link number 8, which is craving. There are 3 types of cravings. What are they?
Raga, Devesha, Asmita.
Yeah, thank you. But what are the cravings in English?
A fear of losing good things.
And existence. Desire, fear, and existence. Thank you very much for listening. All of which are present and flop over into very strong desire, very strong craving or grasping on link number 9, which is the fuse that lights becoming the pregnant woman. Yeah, it feeds, it's the energy, it's what makes that karma different from karma 2, from link number 2, is that this karma is charged up with a bunch of craving for existence, for not wanting to be separated from things you like and from not being around things you don't like. So let's look at the 4 ways of perceiving self. The first way, which is the first part of the meditation that we did, and this, to be honest, I had quite wrong for about 3 years when I first learned this stuff. I learned about things don't have a nature of their own, and I went without, and even though I was told not to go to an extreme, I went to nihilism, meaning that things didn't exist at all. I was trying to create that view. I was trying to negate reality. This one, which is number 1, which is an unanalyzed, unchecked, conventional me. The first thing that we did, do you exist? Sina, do you exist? Is there a Sina here? On Tuesdays. This is Thursday. Is there a me that exists, unscrutinized, is there something here?
Don't we say unexamined is there, examined it's not, or something like
Correct.
that?
Yeah. So that's what I said, an unexamined,
Right. But
conventional.
that's like a thing you can say in the debating ground is like, well, unexamined, it's there.
Yeah.
You can't really argue like Hector is.
Yeah, there's something appearing here. Yeah. Don't tell me you don't think you're you when I punch you in the face. No, honestly, like there's something there you can't. And my fault was to deny that one, trying to go to understand ultimate reality. I thought I had to pretend I didn't exist. That's not it. There is something here. And in fact, coming to course 5, you'll get to understand where that comes from, what produces that. Because there is something here. And I think I'm here, this sum of my parts. You're there. Hello? You know? Who am I talking to? Talking to someone. So that's the unexamined you, that's the first level. And it's okay to see that. There is a you. The second way of perceiving self is seeing self as self-existence and believing yourself to be self-existent. Yeah? So you say, now you begin to do some examination and you say, well, I am here and I reside here and I really exist from my own side. I am Hector. Yeah? And this Hector changes the world around him doing certain things. And this Hector manipulates the world, and this Hector is actually the one that does misactions to try and get close to what we want and far away from what we don't want. Yeah? If I want
I think that's where I am.
everybody here is there. Everybody here is there.
So true.
One of the conditions of the 6 realms and the wheel of life is this forced perception that we are self-existent and that this is a self-existent reality, and therefore we do all sorts of silly strategies to satisfy that self-existence. I think I want to be happy, so I'm going to take that away from another person and take it from me. I think I don't want to be unhappy, so if I just meander and lie and do all these things, that's what's not going to happen. So we do all this kind of misdirected actions to maintain our happiness in this self-existent thing. This self-existent thing thinks it needs to satisfy itself, and so we do all this crazy thing. So that's the second level of being. We can talk a little bit about it more next week if we get a chance. Seeing myself as self-existent and the world around us as self-existent. The third way of being is someone who has seen emptiness directly, who doesn't believe in self-existence, but is perceiving the world as self-existent. So in the timeless stretch of your mind stream, in the timeless stretch of mind without beginning, this is what's amazing about these teachings. They say that there's 2 types of beings in the entire realm of life. Those who have had an ultimate experience of reality and those who have not. Those who have not continue this thing. Those who have get out at some point. Those beings, upon seeing emptiness directly, you understand that things are not coming from themselves. That everything when you come out of that direct experience, because when you're in that direct experience, you are like water poured into water. You are not there. You are not in this realm. You're not of this world. And that mind stream shifts forever from that moment on. And that only ever happens once in the entirety of time for that mind stream. It flops onto some other way of being. And upon coming down from that experience where the world begins to assert itself in the old way, in a self-existent way, there really is a person out there, I really will get happy if I do that, you now know that's not the case, that's not true. You know this world is lying to you, and you know it. It's not like you suspect it, you know it. And you begin to undo, and then you begin the work of habituating yourself to behave in congruence with what you saw. So you habituate your mind to do the actions of body, speech and mind in congruence with truth, with ultimate reality, without a peak. And you still want stuff. You want to get enlightened. For the sake of you want stuff. But it's not ignorant want. It's a big difference. There's different names for those. And then the fourth way of, so you get that way of perceiving yourself, yeah? Mm-hmm. And then the fourth way of perceiving yourself would be, if you follow the logic,
fully awakened.
Fully awakened, which would be?
Not being self-existent.
Thank you. So you don't see yourself as self-existent or believe things to be self-existent. And that's worth meditating on. Because a trigger and a seed opens when you abide in that kind of meditation, like you did today. You get to feel what it's like. You get to step into the imagining of what it's like to be that kind of creature. What if you were? What if you had just come out of the experience of seeing emptiness directly to whatever level of cognition you can do that, yeah, and understand that what you saw explains absolutely how everything is the way it is, and how it's produced in a certain way, and does not come from it out there separate to you, but is nothing but an imputation of your mind on blankness, on blank, on emptiness. And it's not a choice, it's like, if you see this amazing interplay, there's infinite potential in that blankness, and out of the infinite potential, you are forced to see this Hector with people being stabbed. All of a sudden, it's not bad people being stabbed. You understand that absolutely everything in your experience is projected upon blankness from causes in your mind. And what flowers. But what you could do at that very moment is respond with wisdom because you have seen it. And so that flowers, it dissipates, and your response and your action to it plants the karmas, plants the capacity for that blankness to be not this kind of Hector. Any other kind of being. It transforms the way you will see yourself. You are forced right now to see yourself in a certain way. Your life is, and that's the first level. That exists. Unexamined, you're having a shit life. In a really good world. In the top 1% of the world, we're all unhappy about our jobs, our relationship, like we're suffering. If not, you're going to get old. If you're doing okay, you're going to get old. Something is forcing that. Yeah, and we'll get that in course 5. If that thing is blank, if that experience is blank, empty of being that way, the way you are, the way you think you are, so solid, if that is true, if that is blank, you could be completely different, blissful completely, free of any suffering, perceiving every sound and decibel in your world as complete bliss. No contradiction. So when you get to see the interplay between the blankness and your karma and emptiness, and if you remember from course 1, the last few lines of the Lamsum, remember that? When you get to see that there's no separation between karma and emptiness, then he's just going to go forth and prosper. What is it he does? Star Trek.
Doesn't it mention something like a diamond, the keeper of the diamond?
Yeah, you become the keeper of the diamond.
Yeah.
So, it's true. So, the crux of it is in that word, jigsaw. Jigsaw there is referring to the habit of grasping to self as self-existent. Yeah? Ignorance is that. Smashing ignorance, but not self-existent ignorance, which is an us word in your mind. Smashing that does not allow for the rest of the cause and effect chain to occur, to even produce a samsaric life. So I encourage you between now and next week, practice those 4 ways of viewing yourself. What if you did have a direct experience how things are nothing but empty, available completely to be anything that they could be, and that anything is caused by karma, a movement of your mind. Definition. And so if that could be anything, then this realm could be divine, and it's not somewhere else, and it's not another place or another time. It's right now. It's available right now. Not when you die. That's the other thing. There's a poa. The poa practice. There's a bunch of poa practices. Some seekers, a bunch of poa practices, which is okay. I can direct my mind stream at the time of death, but unless you've done a habituation, it's slim pickings. You know, it's unlikely that you're gonna, if you're not able to habituate your mind the entire life, and then go at the end, I'm just gonna go, bing, I'm gonna become, you know, it will require an already enlightened mind or some kind of special being to do that. Yeah? So rather than taking that jackpot, that chance, the sole point of practice, and that's one of the things I want out of these classes for you, is to understand the basis behind these words, but then how do I apply that day to day? What do I do that with my husband, with my wife, with my sister, with stories on the news, with the feelings I've got about boys and girls and money and rent and this world? What do you do with all that training, applying this stuff? So if there is a point to Buddhist practice, it's finding that villain, that, you know, that thing, that ignorance that is causing all this. And this is what was my mistake when I went to nihilism, finding the strength to say, I am right now experiencing what I am experiencing. It is, but it is not self-existent, but it is. I am a Hector. It's not that there is no Hector. And then you go into some lofty mind screw that wastes you some time. You have the life you have. It does not have to be that way. It can get worse and it can get better. But until you understand how that comes about, it's a lottery.
But it won't stay the same.
It definitely will not stay the same. Yeah. It's a changing thing. So with that, let's conclude. I think that's good to conclude there. The crux is at the moment of death, if you have habituated your mind enough to see the ultimate nature in things, then you stand a chance to transform this life. Yeah?
Before we do this, we have something we have to do really quick. And you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Hector, thank you on behalf of ACI for beautifully, selflessly teaching us from your heart and with your wisdom.
Thank you, people, so very much. Thank you.
Open it.
Yeah. Let's say it's in a blanket. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We did get to tell your story.
You
You guys help him hold it up when
This
you.
is definitely Lisa. Do I open here?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay, someone show me how to do this.
Slide it off. Just slide it off. Slide the whole thing.
Wow. Okay. This looks like it was handmade. Wow.
Hold it up.
It's a Dharma quilt. Oh my God.
Woohoo!
Oh my God.
We had to make it extra special to
Oh.
fit your bed.
Who's been on my bed? Wow, that is magnificent.
This is, please always teach in Tibetan.
I can't do it in Tibet. That is beautiful. So this is one of the Dharma quilts made by the...
Yeah.
No, it was just for you.
Yeah, but it's made by the ladies in Nepal.
Oh yeah, open that.
You are holy, holy people for...
It's like three-dimensional. Yeah, three-dimensional.
You are holy, holy people for giving me the chance to teach. Yeah? I hope that you do something with that, so it's not idle time. I hope it touches the people that look for meaning in their lives that are connected to you. I'm really, really grateful that you come. I'm really happy to teach. I'm really, really happy because it stretches me. It forces me to practice. You force me to practice. And that is a gift. I mean, that is a gift. So I'm really, really grateful for the time that you spend here every week. I'm grateful for forcing me to study. I'm grateful for the space and the keeping of that space, Alison. Thank you. And for every moment that you've got doubts and struggles and hardships, that you do something towards a better understanding. That's all there is. That's a good time, even if you fail at what you were trying to do. So I'm really, really grateful, and may these teachings stay in your heart and you pass them forward. That's really, really lovely. Thank you. That's very special. Thanks, James. We're going to come and see you here. So I invite those of you who can come to Nepal in October. There's still room. We haven't booked the tickets yet. We're going for a month. You can come for a week, to 3 weeks to 4 weeks. It will cost you 2,500 or up to 3,000, depends how much coffee you want to drink. Or trekking you want to do, or shopping you want to do. But more importantly is you being present in front of the orphanage kids, the ladies who make the quilt, the kids in the street, the lepers, the homeless, the rest. Them seeing you hang around gives those people an experience that there are other humans, angelic humans, normal humans, subnormal humans, Westerners with hang-ups, whatever the story is that they'll experience with you, they'll get to have that experience, and you will transform those lives. Yeah, you just by being with them and laughing with them, and they will transform yours. So if you would like to, please come, let us know. If you do not want to, but you've got a bucket load of cash, we need it.
Do you think we should get a group picture with you and the quilts and all of us?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I have my camera actually.
Yeah, and let's do that for the... Are you running away or coming in? Okay, can we dedicate? Yeah. So the dedication here, if you can make it special, is... Hi, look at you. If you can make it special, is you've developed, for all the classes you've come into this room and all the teachings that are being downloaded into your consciousness, whether you remember them or not, whether you practice them or not, you've got them in your heart. Your point here is to spread it on the planet to as many beings and creatures living that you can fathom, and see them fully realized with all these teachings that you've got inside of you, and then turn this place into perfection.
Sashi
Jishim Metotram Virabin Shin Indegin Padi Sange Shindu Miteduargi Drokunanda Shinlatu Pasho Iram Guru Ratna Mandala Kandiryatayami
Dewa
Diyoku Sunam Yeshe Sotsokshin Sunam Yeshe Lejungwe Rampa Kuni Topasho.
Just descend that guru at the crown of your head, your lama, your teacher, and bring them down to the level of your heart. Make them infinitely smaller and let them abide there at the very core of your core with all their wisdom and knowledge. And let them guide you when the time comes. Deeply grateful for you coming. Thank you for
Teach me.
You made me all cry.